Today we're going to look at how we can multiply numbers that are written in scientific notation. In order to rewrite multiplication problems, we need to be familiar with the associative property. And the associative property just tells us that if we have several factors to multiply together, we can reorganize them to make our work easier. So for scientific notation, let's group the coefficients, and then we'll group the powers of 10. So for this example, we can group 4.5 times 6, and then we can multiply that product by the product of these two powers. So when we multiply 4.5 times 6, we get 27, and then that would be multiplied by 10 to the 3 plus 7, remember, same bases. When you multiply, add the exponents. So we get 27 times 10 to the 10th. However, in scientific notation, our coefficient has to be equal to or greater than 1, but less than 10. And in this case, we have 27. So we need to rewrite 27 in scientific notation. So we need a coefficient between 1 and 10, which would be 2.7. And since we moved the decimal place one time, that would be multiplied by 10 to the first. But don't forget, we still have the 10 to the 10th to take care of. So now we can be satisfied with our coefficient of 2 7/10. But we have to simplify our powers of 10 at this point. So we have 10 to the 1 plus 10, or 10 to the 11th. Let's do a couple more examples together. Again, we're going to regroup, so we put the coefficients together. So we have 1 25/100 times 7.6 times our powers of 10. And 1 25/100 times 7.6 gives us 9.5 times 10 to the 6 plus 12, same base being multiplied, add the exponents. So we wind up with 9.5 times 10 to the 18th. And since our coefficient is between 1 and 10, our number is good. We're in scientific notation, and we are ready to move on to the next problem. So over here, we'll group the coefficients just like before. We'll group the 8 times the 5 65/100, and we'll multiply that by 10 to the 5th times 10 to the 4th. And 8 times 5 65/100 gives us 45 2/10 times 10 to the 9th. But we need to get that 45 to be a number between 1 and 10, so we'll rewrite that as 4.52. We move the decimal once, so we'll multiply that by 10 to the 1st. But we'll still take care of that 10 to the 9th. So now we can simplify that with 4 52/100 times 10 to the 1 plus 9, or 10 to the 10th. So to summarize, we'll regroup our coefficients together and our powers of 10 together, do the multiplication on the coefficients. We need our coefficient to be between 1 and 10, so we may have to do an adjustment, and then we can simplify the powers of 10 one more time in order to have a solution that is in scientific notation.